you very much, Anthony. Okay, welcome everyone. Hello out there. Let's just crack on. So perhaps some of you, most of you hopefully have seen last week and how this connects onto it. So let's just keep going. Last week we talked about psychological capacities and various nature of intelligence. And I just want to start with that really big picture, a couple of slides, and then focus right into what we're talking about today, confidence and motivation. And this is a lecture I've given to so many different realms, not just vets, but I've given it to the British Army officers, PhD students in Cambridge a couple of weeks ago, school kids, teachers, parents, vets, and they all love it because there's a real almost penny dropping moment in it, and it certainly was for me when I started to learn this stuff, and it made a huge difference to not necessarily just confidence, but maybe that moment when things go wrong, so you can actually say, right, how do I get back on the horse? What little path do I start walking down whenever I kind of go, I've completely lost it, which we all have that feeling now and again. So let's start big picture and get into it. So all living organisms respond to stimuli, okay? So we have a stimulus and we have a behavioral response. Now most organisms, right from the most basic organism like an amoeba, have a reactive response. They don't really think an awful lot about how they respond. They pretty much do. They move towards nice things. They move away from noxious or toxic things. So it's reactive. Right up even to quite sophisticated animals, including mammals. And humans, we talked about last week, being quite unusual because we have that ability to choose between stimulus and response. And it's to do with this green area of our brain, this frontal cortex, which allows us the capacity to imagine. In other words, rather than being just physiological beings, we can say, okay, what's happening? What's going to go on? And choose our response. And intelligence we talked about last week was that ability to actually analyze and choose what happens in that space. So just recapping, we have that power or that capacity to choose. And that is ultimately what makes us adaptive and makes us successful in whatever terms successful is. I don't mean just in terms of financial or commercial success, but even just adaptive, happy, well-being living. So again, this slide just summarizing from last week, the substrates of psychology, because we have a prefrontal cortex, we have the ability to imagine, so we have ideas, theories, hypotheses, and we also have beliefs about how the world works. Beliefs are technically what we believe to be true or what we hold to be true. And beliefs can have different degrees of conviction or can be relating to different degrees of evidence. Okay? And a different particular type of belief is values. Values were defined as things that we believe are important or the way things should be according to what we have learned, what standards or behavior or whatever it is we're doing as to what's important. And because we can anticipate the future, we have expectations, anticipated future states. That's what an expectation is. And they are born, our individual expectations are born out of how, in a sense, we've been programmed with our beliefs and our values as to what we believe is going to happen or should happen. And we looked at how emotion is the difference between expectation and our perception of reality, and how we can have emotions based on whether things meet our expectations, surpass them, or fall short of them. And then finally, behavior, what we actually do, what we can observe people doing. And emotion is a massive driver of behavior. And we talked about four capacities, the cognitive, the cultural, cognitive being the ability to analyze, remember, conceptualize, cultural ability to be intelligent with and about values, beliefs, and opinions, emotional, the ability to be intelligent with and about emotion, and motivational, which we're going to talk really about today. Just recapping, that hallmark of intelligence is about adaptation to whatever's going on, rather than stupidity is defined as is doing the same thing again and again, but expecting a different response. Whereas intelligence is about saying, actually, hold on, this is not working. What can we do? Or what am I missing in analyzing the situation that perhaps I can make a different choice and get a different response? So today, as I say, we're going to look at motivational and in a wider sense as to why do we pursue certain goals and why do we, in a sense, give up? Or what is it going on in our head that